Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm the therapist, Tess Brigham.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And we are back with Love is Blind, Season 8, Episodes 7, 8, and 9. And, I was thinking and reflecting upon the first episodes that we did, episodes 1 through 6, and I felt like, oh God, are we being really negative with these people? And because we were listening to Reality Gaze, and they take it episode by episode, and there was such full of love and hope and joy. Episode 1 and episode 2, and
we were just bitter Bettys.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
And so I just want the people to know, I went into these episodes with open heart, open mind. I am here. I am with you, and I just want to say by the end, I hate these people. I think I don't hate all of them. I should
not
say
all
that,
of them. Not all of them.
I still don't like them.
You know what?
And I'm still a little annoyed.
There's really only one person I really dislike, and that's Dave.
Okay. Yes, Dave.
Who else do you dislike? I think everybody else.
Ben. I have theories
Ben,
about Ben. I have theories about Ben. Okay. And this is the best too. In this last week, a client of mine was saying, she was like, okay, her and her husband were watching Love is Blind. And I was like, oh, you watch Love is Blind? And I said, Ben. And she's like, oh, George Floyd. Everybody who is anybody, everybody gets how insane that is, that this kid just was like, oh, I don't think about it.
Yeah, I don't think about that kind of stuff. I stay out of it.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Some of the people I found really blah, just milquetoast and boring.
Yeah.
And you know what it was? It was the first episode when they first and they went to Honduras, which is interesting. So usually that first episode where they're getting to know each other, there's, they're kind of these weird, funny things that they're getting to know. I felt like I watched an hour long episode of each couple talking about how meta it is. There was an episode of just meta-ness, of talking about being in this experiment while you're on the experiment, in the experiment, and what it was like for them to be in that experiment. It was just like, okay, got it.
Right.
It was like, I don't need each of you to tell me what, and it's not interesting. It would be one thing if it was interesting to hear. I was so bored. Bored.
I don't know if it was the editing, but yeah, they seem to all be talking about that and talking about, just, I don't even know how to describe it. Just, stuff that was not interesting. It's like, where are the discussions of you talking about your lives and, getting to know each other better on a deeper level and plans for the future? There's a little bit of that, but not a lot. It was a lot of just, drama about the show.
Yeah. drama about the show, the meta-ness of and the big situations that are coming about are sort of these meta situations about the show, about Taylor and Daniel, and did you see me ahead of time? And Dave and Lauren, like, did you date this person that we know? And is this person doing this thing because they want to be on TV, or is this real? Right? Those kinds of things for sure. But even the other people where there wasn't like Devin and Virginia, I'm like, okay, you're getting massage now, and now you're doing this, and now you're doing that. Like, just not interesting. And the biggest issue is and we saw this in the group gathering. It's because there's no overlap. It was because that quadrant rhombus should have been there. Yeah. The square should have been there. And I, on Vulture, I didn't read the article, but there's this headline that says, they should have made those the producer should have made them get engaged. Like, like there is something about that. Like, we spent so much time with these four people and this drama of this situation. And so we don't get the continuation of that. And on top of that, nobody is into anybody else. So there's no like drama of meeting each other. So it's super boring. Yeah. It's just a lot of Dave going, have you guys had sex? I haven't had sex yet. Have you guys had sex? I haven't had sex yet.
Well, yeah, that's a major storyline. I mean, yeah, I'll get to that. But
anyway.
Yeah, so we start out with this cliffhanger.
Yeah. Well, where do we want to go by the couples? Do you want to do by the couples, or you want to start with the cliffhanger? You want to start with Daniel and Taylor?
Isn't that the first thing that happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the last episode, she says, when I saw you, you looked familiar to me, and I keep thinking about it. And I think that maybe you might have followed me before the show. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think so. But he's also saying, I guess it could, and that's the thing you notice with this group. It seems like the singles of that age in Minneapolis or whatever, they all kind of know each other.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of people, it feels like, because you learn later that everyone kind of knows everybody. Yeah, there's all this overlap. So he's probably thinking, well, yeah, I follow a lot of girls in Minnesota or in Minneapolis. And that's what people do that age. Like, they follow people who follow their friends. They just kind of build this network of people who they follow, and it's meaningless. It's not like you follow the person hoping that you're going to meet them or date them or anything. It's more like, oh, this person knows this person who I know, and let's just follow, because it's why not just click a button. So I don't know. Yeah, they were trying to make it seem so sinister, and even if it turned out that he had, it's kind of like, so what? Like, he obviously didn't. If he followed you and unfollowed you, then I don't know.
Yeah.
It was much ado about nothing, because they give her phone back so she can look and see, because she has this tracker to see who follows and unfollows her, and she couldn't find him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean,
what do you do? It's like all of that, the cliffhanger drama, and it's like,
yeah.
Oh,
well, I was at first a little suspicious of Daniel, because I kind of felt like he was like way too casual about this. Like, well, it's possible. I mean, I would have been like, wait, are you accusing? I would be pissed. They were like, you're accusing me of something? Like, we just met. Like, you're not even going to give me the benefit of the doubt. I would be annoyed. So I was surprised how mellow he was. Again, I think this is who he is, his personality and how he reacts. So then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I don't think he did intentionally. I just don't think he's that good of an actor. I really don't. Yeah. I mean, that would have been like an amazing acting job that we would have had to have watched.
Yeah, I think he was cool because in his mind, I don't think he felt like he did anything wrong. Even if he had followed her, he's like, well, maybe I did. I saw her for a second, but like a lot of those girls, they all look the same. And then they all look different in real life than they look on Instagram. So, who cares? I didn't think that was a big deal.
Well, I think Taylor, has an issue with control as we meet her mother.
Oh, yeah.
And should we just stay with them?
Sure.
Okay. Because the next thing I wrote was, these two are like middle-aged already.
Yes.
I mean, they're unpacking all of their clothes.
And they're talking about the outfits and
No. She's like, every time I go on a vacation, I buy an ornament to remember the vacation. I'm like, oh dear God.
She's one of those people.
I'm like, you know who buys ornaments? Our mother. That's who's doing it. Like, what? And how old are you people? You're 29. I did not think about buying ornaments for a tree at 28, 29.
They're talking about how many Christmas trees they're going to put up this year.
Christmas cards. I just want to say, I am 51 years old. I have a child and 2 dogs. I have never had a Christmas card. I have never, because I can't, I mean, part of it is I can never get my crap together to get the picture done. But just the fact that you're in your 20s and you're putting out Christmas cards.
Yeah, as a single person.
So that's why I also felt like maybe I'm not getting this because I'm not from the Midwest. Maybe this is a Midwestern thing. Maybe do you know what I mean? Like, it felt very different to me. It just as if someone was out here in California and watching people date. I really hope they do a Love is Blind in San Francisco, because it will be be crazy. You don't know what you're going to get with these people.
Very different from this. Yeah. Well, did you see on Instagram, it's floating around, Dave, also has been doing Christmas cards, his whole adult life, I guess. And so there was this is, long before he came on the show, he posted one of his Christmas cards, which is a picture of him sitting by a fire, like in a recliner with his feet up, and I think he's wearing a Santa hat or something. And I think he might have a dog on his lap who's dressed up as Santa. And then he's got Christmas decorations galore, like all over the fireplace mantle and everywhere. And there's a tree in the background. So he's been doing this too. These two are perfect for each other, honestly.
Maybe. Are you talking about Dave or Daniel? You're talking about Daniel.
I'm sorry, Daniel. I said Dave. No, Daniel.
Yes. No. These two. And I can understand how she would be a little paranoid, because it did seem like they had a lot in common. There did seem to be a little bit of that. But I also kind of think, as we met their families, like, I kind of think you guys are just kind of like boring white people. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, you're just kind of...
They're very boring.
They're very boring. But I'm kind of thinking we should go to Minneapolis for Christmas now. I mean, it must be off the chain there or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I know it's very cold. I mean, but that's really, when we say they're boring, isn't that what everyone says they want?
Yes.
They say they want, a guy who, look, he's never going to cheat on her.
Oh God, no.
He's never going to hide any like money issues, or he is going to worship her and fully love and respect her till the day she dies.
Yes.
Okay. And vice versa. That's what people say that they want. And then they find that and they're like, oh, this is boring. And what they really want is some drama.
Yeah. But I think these two like each other. Yeah. Like, I think they're into it. So I'm happy for them. I really am. I mean, but again, it's just meeting these families. I'm kind of like, God, you guys are Americana here. You guys are just, God damn it. You guys are just embracing all of this.
Well, and his family was so interesting because they embraced this whole thing because, of course, they have a daughter who's blind.
Yes.
So this, of course, they're attracted to this idea because, if you live with someone, you raise someone who's blind, everything that they do is on that premise and on faith, and because they can't see, you have to fall in love with someone that way. And so to them, there's nothing weird about that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they were lovely. Sally and John were lovely. I'm like, again, Sally looked amazing for someone who had 3 kids. I mean, she keeping it together, and they were just this beautiful home. Like it was just like big giant couch with the pictures of Daniel with the photo. Like, did you see those montage photos? I'm like,
photo shoot.
Yeah. I was like, oh, right. You guys are just, just all American. Yeah, absolutely. And so they obviously liked Taylor. Now, Taylor's family is having a bit more of a problem, meaning Taylor's mother.
She looks like she's just frightened of the world. You know, she's just very,
I
don't know how to explain. Yeah, just very rigid and
very controlling. I mean, just the fact that she was so upset that they would get engaged and not tell her. And I understand feeling a little out of sorts with like, oh my gosh, you're getting engaged to someone we've never met. We don't know anything about them. I understand that part about it. But she's mad. The mom's mad because Taylor couldn't call her right away. It was just like, but the minute she got her phone, she reached out to you. Like, it's just, I don't think this mom likes things that she doesn't understand or knows.
Well, I think the mom took it to the next level. I thought she said that I can't believe that you got engaged and I wasn't there.
Mm.
Yeah, so not only
she did say that.
She wants to be there.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you knew she was going on this show. You knew that this could happen. This was the premise of it, and she could come back and be engaged. So why are you still sour about this?
And there's something about that. It's a little enmeshed here. It's her mom's name is Connie. Connie, I'm sorry, but there is no guarantee that you were going to be there, even if Taylor was with someone that you knew their entire life. Like, that's a lot to assume that you will be present for this event. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, it's a little much.
Yeah.
But I think
how old is
that control?
Is she's like 20, like late 20s, or
I want to say they're both 29.
Okay.
28, 29, 30. I mean, so again, she's not a child. She's not a baby. Mm-hmm. And again, I think that as a parent, and I think that Sally and John were trying to school Connie a little bit, saying, you know, they're adults and you can give them your thoughts, and you can support them, but there's a certain level of stuff that we just have to be like, okay. And I think that some of this is, I want to say, because of all the people that I know that have children who have any kind of special need, you know, this family, Sally and John, they've been dealing with like, oh, you just have to, you know, life doesn't work out the way you thought. Because their daughter was blind. And so they have been dealing with the fact that like things aren't going to work out how you thought. Things aren't going to be their kid's going to have challenges. Life is not going to look it out. But, you know, if you take a step back and try to enjoy it, it's enjoyable. Yeah. And I think they understood that a lot more than Connie does.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, and again, but Connie and her husband, I can't remember his name.
Daniel. His name's Daniel.
Oh, that's right. His name's Daniel. Dan, yeah. So they and they seem like very nice people too, but it took them a while to come around. Yeah. And they had to get both of the families together to kind of raise the comfort level so that Taylor's parents could see that, oh, okay, this guy comes from a good family. These people are not nice and normal and okay. And so, yeah, they got together at Taylor's parents' house and talked and that's when, it was very honest discussion about how, we can't control what our kids do. We just we can guide them, but it's like they're adults and they're going to do what they're going to do and try to support them. And then is this when Daniel asks for her hand in marriage?
Yeah, which I thought was very
nice.
Which Daniel got the program, or maybe Taylor said you need to do this. I don't know. And I think Connie appreciated that. Connie liked that. But yeah, I think it was Sally and John that really calmed them all down. I think it was just seeing, you know, these people that are your age that are sort of like, don't worry, we're normal. Don't worry.
Yeah. And they both expressed, both sets of parents, that they are very much expecting to be grandparents and they want to be in their grandkids' lives. And they're talking about, they're envisioning where they're going to put the pack and play, you know, in their kids' old bedrooms and stuff.
I've got two words for them. Coyote pass.
What?
I have two words, coyote pass. Doesn't this feel very like Cody Brown?
Oh, no, God, no, not to that extent. No, I mean, that's the way it struck me was, I think it's normal when you get to a certain age and your kids are a certain age, because I'm starting to feel that way. I'm starting to envision like, okay, I could be a grandma in a few years, and you start to think about that. But I'm not thinking about, okay, where would I put a pack and play in my house?
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of next level. But they were both very much like,
oh yeah,
they're ready. I don't know if they already have. I think Connie and Dan, I think, may already have some grandkids already. But they're definitely, there's going to be pressure on them to start procreating.
That's what made me think of Coyote Pass, because they were saying that, usually when you retire, right, you downsize, you kind of reduce your life. Right. And it sounded like they very consciously said, no, we're going to expand our house so that our kids can come back. And I was like, oh God, this is a lot of pressure. But see, I think this is what works. I think this couple could work, because I think that this is what these two, I think they are so excited. They cannot wait. I think the biggest issue will be who gets them for Christmas.
Right.
Who gets the grandchildren for Christmas?
They even mentioned that, like having to share, Christmas one year at your parents' house, Christmas the next year at my parents' house. Yeah, I think that came up with them.
Yeah. Well, I think they're all going to be doing Christmas together. It's going to be, that Christmas card's going to be insane.
There's going to be 27 people on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's going to be in it. But I could see, I'm feeling more positive about both of these people. I think they're a good match. I really do. And I think Taylor, like Connie, is a little controlling. And I think Daniel wants to be, and I think Daniel's smitten by her and thinks she's gorgeous and is like, okay, sure. No
Whatever
problem.
You want. Yeah.
Whatever you want, dear.
Yeah, no, they are going to get I predict they're going to get married. I think they are still married, and I think they will be married.
Yeah.
For life.
Yes, they will be a success story. But who knows?
The first in Love is Blind history success story.
All right, where should we go? Do you want to go to Devin and Virginia, the snooze fest? Because these two are, I don't know. I mean, the first line I wrote was, "This is the most boring conversation I've ever heard in my entire life." I don't even know what they were talking about.
Which one? They were.
That was so this is what was happening. Was I was watching the show, and then I would start to drift off somewhere, like. Or I'd start to do something and then I'd have to stop
and go back.
Yeah. And basically write down what was happening in order to remember it. Because then I start writing like Devin showing off his tattoos. They're making jokes about their age difference. They're getting couples massage. Like, but I don't know anything they said in between that.
Right.
None of it's interesting.
Well, and that's the thing. I think that if you are having trouble falling asleep, you can put on a conversation between Devin and Virginia.
Yeah.
It'll probably lull you to sleep because they just, they both talk softly.
Yes,
and,
yes.
It's like, I want to have like between 2 and 5 children. Yeah, me too. I've always wanted to have like 6 children. I mean, literally,
it's like ASMR or something.
Exactly.
You guys can make a fortune in that. Oh, I also went back to follow up from our last episode about Love is Blind. I went back and I watched the reveal again with Devin and Virginia. No, I think she's just kind of shy.
I misread that. Yeah. I thought she had the ick.
No.
But she didn't. She's
into him.
Yeah. I mean, I totally misread that. I don't know. Yeah. Cause she was like, oh, thank you. He's complimenting her. Thank you. Yes. Oh, so sweet. And it's like, get a little excited.
I think this is who she is.
I guess so.
I think this is who she is.
She's very mature, because she's not that old. I mean, she's older than him, but, she's like 33 and she's very mature, talking about investing and making money and the prenup, which, is going to be.
We already know this is going to be an issue.
This is going to be an issue, but it's like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a smart thing. I would advise my daughter to do the same thing. So yeah, she's, here's the thing. They're both sweet. They're both great. She's way more mature than him. Even for, she's a very mature 33-year-old and what is he? He's like 26.
He's 28.
He's 28. Yeah, I don't know. You could tell the tennis shoes. That was a big thing. Each one because I know how much these kind of tennis shoes cost.
And he had a lot.
he had a lot. And these are not the ones you just go to Foot Locker and buy. These are like special editions, and they sell them at these stores in LA, and they do cost like $700. And people buy them. They never even take them out of the box sometimes. It's like a collector's thing. I was trying to do the math. I feel like he has about $50,000 worth of tennis shoes.
Yeah, he's like Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not, I'm sure that didn't sit well with her.
Yeah. Again, I think these are critical years, and men and women mature differently. And yes, there are exceptions to this rule, but I just want to say a 28-year-old woman and a 33-year-old man are at the same place. It's a problem when he is 5 years younger. It is almost like she is 38 and he is 23. Truly. That's you have to think about it like that, because women just mature faster. She's a very mature person. I think he's mature in his own ways because of various things, but at the same time, he's still not where she is. He is not going to be where she is now for another, I want to say 7 years mentally.
Yeah.
He just isn't.
Yeah. We forget how educated she is. She has, it seems like a very, big, important job. And I'm not trying to knock him, but he coaches girls high school basketball.
Oh, I thought it was college level.
No, I think it's high school.
But he also has some kind of basketball camp. Is he doing, I get the sense he has
like
many
an
businesses.
Athletic director or assistant athletic. I think he has a couple of part-time jobs, basically, that neither one of which pay a lot. And I feel like he's probably subsidized by his parents.
Oh, you think?
To a certain degree.
Maybe.
Because he had his own place. I don't know how much that cost.
Again, I think
it's hard to tell.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much are apartments in Minneapolis, but I think that he is sort of that classic case. If he probably doesn't make a ton of money, but he probably doesn't have a ton of expenses. Like, probably the most expensive thing he does are those shoes, like the shoes. But you're absolutely right that Virginia's taken that $50,000 and she's invested it somewhere, and she's watching it grow. That's what's exciting to her. And he spent them on the shoes.
Yeah, and he's not going to want to stop buying those shoes. And it's going to be a bone of contention with them. And then he was talking about how he had all this medical debt from his surgeries. And it's like, well, didn't you have health insurance? Like, why? He must not have had health insurance, because why else would you have all that kind of medical debt?
Yes. And
so that
plus,
means he didn't, or at the time, he didn't have a job that provided medical insurance.
Well, also don't forget, he's 28. So up until 26, you can be on your parents' health insurance. So why wasn't he on his parents' health insurance?
I don't know. Maybe they
didn't want to pay. That's weird.
They didn't want to pay for it. You still have to pay for it. You can be on their plan.
But they have to pay for it.
Yeah, the employer doesn't pay. You pay the premium. You just get a better rate because you're on a group plan. But I have to pay for Layla's insurance, and it's not cheap.
Okay. So maybe the parents.
Maybe they didn't have the money to pay, it's like $400 a month or something.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah, it could be expensive.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Virginia meets Devin's family.
Mm-hmm.
So we meet Willie and Becca. I never got the sister's name.
Kayla.
Okay. And then was that a brother or was that's Kayla's
her husband?
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to figure out because the sister looked like the family. I was like, oh, she's related.
Yeah.
But he didn't so much, but I didn't want to. I was like, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know. But there's
and his mom. What's his mom's name?
Becky. Becky does not look like a Becky at all.
She loves some holiday decorating.
See, that's what I'm telling you. I think it's off the chain in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
They go all out for Christmas.
It's like, hello, it's Easter. I mean, it was Easter. And she had just the little chicks and the eggs and everywhere. It's like, wow.
Maybe we should open a holiday store in Minneapolis.
In St. Paul, Minneapolis.
That's the place to be. I didn't notice so much of that. Their conversation was, so what does it mean to be equally yoked? Is that a religious thing?
Well, Equally yoked. Well, yoked means like, isn't that kind of like what you've got, like what you got going on?
Oh, because there was a lot of talk of faith and family. And this is a phrase that has been used a lot, faith and family, faith and family. And they were all, and I think this is another piece of maybe what attracted Devin to Virginia was this faith piece, like putting God first. We put God first. We put God first. And then was Virginia or Becky who said something about equally yoked? I'm like, what does that mean?
I think it means they're like at the same level. Like they've each got the same amount of like stuff, good stuff going on.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I didn't understand that. Someone, please.
I'm going to Google it right now.
Okay.
Well, how do you spell it? Like
yoked? I was thinking yoke like a yoke on an oxen, right? Like you're tied together. You're equally tied together. But what does that mean? Or does that mean you're tied to your faith or tied to this belief? I don't know.
Well, what does it mean if someone is yoked? Having well-defined muscles, very muscular. Okay, I don't think that. Oh, what does it mean to be yoked with someone? To be yoked together with someone means you're in a compromising partnership with them and you're compromising your beliefs to do it.
So I think that's about believing, putting God first. Like, I think that's that. Like, okay, we're always going to put God.
Oh, this got a million definitions for this word.
Okay.
Has a connotation that the one yoked is the one serving another and carrying their burden. It's in scripture. So maybe this is a biblical thing, like you said. I don't know. Jeez.
So it's not about putting God first. I think it's about carrying someone out. Like being married means, or being in this partnership means you're both carrying the load together.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, finally got there.
All right. So then the big controversy of this was about the prenup, that because Virginia brought this up to Devin. Were they still in Honduras, or was this back? Yeah, about the prenup. And so he's had some time to think about it. And I don't get the sense that he's against it by any means, but the sister seems to really have an issue with it. Again, I don't know if they're just playing this up to have some sort of storyline. I don't know.
Yeah, people tend to get weird about prenups, which is why most people don't have them. And, it seems unromantic, I guess. But again, I would imagine that for her age, Virginia probably does have some stuff. She does have investments. Yeah. And it is her separate property. Even if they get married, it's still her separate property unless they commingle it, which they probably will because they're married and they'll take the money and do stuff with it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, like protecting what you came into the marriage with. And it might even help Devin if he's going to be this successful, basketball coach or whatever dreams he has. He should want to protect himself too.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Nothing wrong. But
I don't know.
It's going to be an issue because there's a preview where, right before the wedding, she slaps down this prenup that she printed out, puts it in front of him, and it's like, dun, dun, dun.
And they have a pig. They have a pet pig.
Pet
so
pig.
Cute. A little pet pig. And then the pig comes out, and the pig's face obviously had been in food or mud, and it's all muddy. It was very cute. Little pig.
This is kind of weird. Is that one of those, remember when people were buying those potbelly pigs, the cute little pigs, and they didn't realize that if you want it to stay small and cute like that, you have to feed it potbelly pig food. Or else if you just give it regular food, regular pig slop or whatever, then it grows and becomes a pig.
Oh.
Do you remember the pig that Paula had on her?
Yeah. Yeah. She had 3 pigs.
And they were potbelly pigs who just overate. And then they just became regular big pigs.
Yes. But they were very cute. And they would eat everything. Anything and everything. But they would eat things in order of what they enjoyed the most. But they would eat everything. Like even if it was crap. They just save that till the end. They are fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's those two. I don't know. I don't know about these two. I could potentially see them getting, I don't know. Do I see them getting married? I don't know. It depends on how much they play up this. If this prenup thing is I feel a little bit like the producers are doing to us with some of these people the way they did last year with, was that couple that didn't understand birth control?
Oh, yeah. Amy and...
I can see their faces.
Johnny and Amy.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but they had no real problems. They were pretty much together and good. And this was their only issue, but it seemed much bigger. They made it much bigger than it really was. But every time they had the conversation about it, this is all they showed.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if they're going to make the prenup this.
What? Yeah, probably. I think there's probably an 80% chance they are going to get married. But yeah, they have to find something to make everybody nervous. Like, oh, will they or won't they? But there was also the conversation when they were at the table, and the brother-in-law basically asks them, okay, well, someday when our parents get really old and they can't live on their own anymore, would you basically take them in and take care of them? And I'm like, well, excuse me, brother-in-law, are you going to do that? Like, why are you putting this off on them?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you guys be doing it? You guys look like the older, the sister and he look like the older couple. So I don't know. I was like, God, what a question.
That was quite the question. And then also that whole thing about, because we just put our mom in assisted living.
It's like, and
they were like, oh, we went to this. Oh yeah, I've seen those nursing homes. They're scary. And it's like, hello, some people, our mother's living it up.
Well, she's not in a nursing home. Yeah. Like there's a difference between a nursing home and an assisted living community.
Yeah, it's an assisted living community. And right now they're right in the middle of Smoothie Social hour. So quite frankly, she's got a good life. Okay.
Right. And then I hate
this. Yeah. But this whole idea, but it's this idea of you good people take care, good people bring their parents in. It's like, no, good people do what's best for the person. And what, it just bugs me.
Yeah. Well, brother-in-law doesn't want them living with him. So that's why he's asking, will you take them? Because I don't want them moving into my house.
You see all this Easter shit? I don't want this every year.
I don't have room for this.
I've got my own Easter stuff I got to put up. Time for Becky and Willie.
Yeah. Becky's got a lot of trinkets. I can tell that house looks very crowded.
It does look very crowded.
With a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. She's got a lot of stuff. Oh, man. But it's so funny, too, to see those homes. It reminds me of going to the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here, everything's so close to everything's so close together. But you look at these yards, I'm like, God, these yards are huge. And like these giant yards with all this space, they don't even know what to do with. And all of it, like these big giant houses. And
so you got a big yard, get a pig,
Yeah. All right. So should we go to Monica and Joey?
Yeah. Another
one.
Family.
Now, I mentioned reality gaze earlier. Now, have you been listening to the episodes? Because, Poodle has not yet used his gift, but he has sprinkled a few things. And I'm forgetting who he was talking about, but I feel like it was Joey.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
That
I don't know if I listened to I listened to a couple of episodes, but not all of them.
But we'll let you all know when Poodle makes all of his uses his gift. But I feel like he feels like Joey might be at the tippy top here. So I don't know.
He is a strapping young gentleman who, he's just full of energy.
Yeah, he is.
Full of life.
He is.
So is this the episode? So in one of these episodes, before he meets the family, they have a discussion about his OCD.
Yes, they do. They do that in Honduras. I'm like, oh, good. At least he's mentioned this to her.
Well, I was very impressed with, so, he had this very chaotic upbringing and he has to basically take care of his family because they really can't take care of themselves. And so he developed this OCD as kind of a coping mechanism for because his life was so out of control and it was something that he could control. And he goes through and he explains it very well to her. And then he talks about what he did to retrain his brain. He didn't want to go on medication. And so he decided to really work at it. And it seems like he's been successful. And I was like really impressed with him. With, you know what I mean? Like, he took it very seriously.
I felt a lot better after hearing this discussion because I was a little nervous for Monica. I was like, oh, geez, like he's now. So it sounds like he did mention the OCD early on. We just didn't see it. So it means like she knew that going in. And yeah, I mean, it makes complete sense of why he had OCD because he felt he had this out of control life. My son has OCD. I mean, he does not have an out of control life, but it, you know, when you feel anxious, that's how it manifests. And yeah, I mean, basically, again, I get a little frustrated when I hear people going, well, I was offered meds, but I felt like I needed to do it myself. It's a little bit like if you take meds, just FYI, it doesn't mean that you're not doing it. My son takes meds and he had to work.
You have to do both.
He did both. And so there's no, if it's there, it helps tremendously if you do. So, but yeah, and he's right. He just said, I did exposure therapy, which is exactly the kind of therapy that you need to do. You know, a hierarchy of whatever it is that you're worried about, or having to sit with the discomfort of walking out of the room and not touching the door frame and processing that and sitting with that and then challenging yourself to do scarier and scarier things as you get more and more comfortable, for sure. So yeah. I felt a lot better. Now, watching him fold those shirts, I feel like I think that the level of the OCD that he's experiencing is not where it was before, but I think that I think he works very, very hard to manage it being where it is. And I do wonder if there is another stressful time in their lives, if it would come back. That's all.
Yeah. And she is I'm not saying that like, it's not like she's messy or anything. But I mean, she's got some things that I can see, like that sock basket.
Yeah. Why are we sharing our socks now?
You know, I know someone else who does that too. Like
with your family.
Has like 3 kids and, you know, they all wear, kind of the same shoes and socks. And so they just sort of, they just share the socks. And if they need socks, they just go looking and find, I don't think they have a sock basket. But yeah, I think that would drive him crazy. And certain things about her, she's very, I don't know what the word is. You know, she's just kind of like all over the place. Like she's like a little bit like a tornado. You know, I think she probably does not put things back.
No,
you know, takes things out, does not put them back. Yeah, she kind of dumped that laundry. The whole laundry thing, I'm sure, drove him nuts. All the stuff in her room, she just kind of put everything from her apartment, just kind of stuck it anywhere in the room, and it's not very organized. So they're very different. Like living together, I think, is going to be challenging.
That's going to be very, very telling. Listen, I'm messy Tessie, and if I think that sock thing is weird, you know what it is? It's not so much like I'm so grossed out, like, ooh, your feet were here, but more of, I want the wear and like, if I've worn down the sock, it should be worn down by me. I don't want to have to like go to the sock bin and find a bunch of worn out socks or like, do you know what I mean? Wearing down the sock, right? Like you wear down your own socks. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. And then how do you know? You know how much underwear you have. You know what your sock situation is. I won't want to have to like guess and wonder if there's the right socks for me in this bin.
Yeah. Do I have the clean socks that I need? You know, are we going to be here? Yeah. I want to have control over my own clothes, socks, especially socks and underwear. Like I want to be, know at all times, like how many pairs do I have?
Yeah. I think that's very different than like a sweatshirt. I mean, I think like your socks and your underwear, like that's going on your body. Again, if I think it's kind of weird and gross, it's bad.
Yeah.
Psych Legal Pop will be back after these messages.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Anywho, but that's not the biggest issue that they have.
No.
So we go over to Claudio, and okay, so Monica's sister is Nicole. Her boyfriend is Trevor. Claudio is the dad. What is the mom's name? Maybe I did not get that. Shoot. But this family, they, I don't know.
Wacky.
I didn't know what to think about this jam session. By any means.
What did they call it? They had a name for it. It was a...
But it wasn't a jam. I wrote down jam session, but it's not that. It's like...
Yeah, it has to do with their last name or something. I don't know. But apparently this is something they do quite often because they have a basket of musical instruments.
Yes, they love baskets in this house.
Yes.
Just bins of stuff.
Of instruments, and you pull out like a cowbell or one of those little like wooden knocker things, or a recorder.
They're all the same instruments that our mother had in little baskets when she was teaching school.
Right.
Remember, Mom? And then when our kids were little, like the music stations that she would create,
the little drums and things you shake that make noise. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I kind of, you know what it was? It was one of those things where it was a little bit like, you guys think you're so wacky and funny by doing this. Like Trevor, who really played the shit out of that flute. I get that. Like, it's almost like, look at me, I'm Will Ferrell. Do you know what I mean? But I think they know that. It didn't feel like this genuine, this is who we are. It feels a little bit like, this is what cool people do.
Right.
We get these instruments and we jam.
Yeah. It's a show they're putting on for the new guy. And you know what? Well, it seemed like the dad really was into those drums. Like, he knew how to play the drums.
I was going to say, dad always gets the drums. I think that's the rule.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like, okay, if he's really good playing these drums, they do this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know. I feel like this was somewhat produced. Maybe they don't totally do it like this. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know what to think of.
No, this is what it is. The producers went over to the house. They said, what special things do you guys do as a family? What are goofy things? Someone threw this out. They got the mom to mention it. And now we all got to do it. And Trevor's like, well, shit, I'm going to play this flute like it's nobody's business. And, it's funny, but it's a little bit like, got it, more cowbell. We've seen this.
Yeah. Well, and Monica's acting like she's mortified.
I'd be mortified too. I'd be like, oh God, now?
I don't know if she knew they were going to do this. I think maybe she didn't. Like this was just something the producers and the family came up with.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't seem to know it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But of course, Joey is a good sport about it. And
he got into it.
Yeah.
He did his part. So this comes back to the big controversy with Joey, which when I saw the previews, I was nervous about Joey because I felt like, I kind of liked him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh no. But I think maybe this is all for nothing, much ado about nothing, because Nicole has an issue with Joey. She's 5 years older. And so she's annoyed that her younger sister is getting married.
Yeah, that was really rude.
Like very rude. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. It's like, well, then you know what? Go talk to Trevor.
Right.
That's a Trevor issue.
Exactly. Can you imagine if I'd said that to you when you got married or got engaged?
Yeah.
And
it's a little bit like, why do you care, Nicole? Like, do you really who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
It was weird.
I don't know. Yeah, that I thought was a lot. And then, but then this whole thing with her saying, well, I think he's a really good actor. And then I was like, based on what? Like, he was just being nice. Like, good actor in what way?
You spent 10 minutes with the guy. Like, what? How do you know? You don't even know what he's like. I don't know. She's just really hating on the whole situation because she says, well, he's not your type. She was being just so negative, and he's an actor. It was like, what are you talking about? You don't know this person. How is he acting? Acting like what? What's different about him? How do you know this isn't him? This is the real him that you've observed for 10 minutes while you were playing musical instruments. I mean, that made no sense. That Sarah, no, her name's not Sarah.
Nicole.
I don't like Nicole.
No, Nicole, you've been because the other thing too is like you're in this relationship. It sounds like it looks like it's a good one. It looks like the two of you are happy. So your sister finally meets someone. She goes on this. She's been unemployed and staying at home to take care of grandma, and she goes on the show and she meets this guy, and you cannot have her have one moment.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I just didn't like it. And that's what Joey picked up on when he was folding the laundry. That's what Joey was getting. And I was like, yeah, I'm with you, Joey. I see you really working on those T-shirts there, folding them. I can see your OCD, but I don't think you're wrong. Monica did admit that her sister is tough with friends and boyfriends. Oh, this sister's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. She's not giving big sisters a good name.
No, she is not. She might need to read the book, Big Sister, Little Sister.
That's right. We can recommend that book.
Yes. All right. So let's go to Sarah and Ben, and then we'll do the big finish with Dave and Lauren. Okay. Now, Ben, I have a theory, and I don't think these were Ben's friends at all. I swear. I think he either went to Craigslist. I think he either found these people on Craigslist or Open Stage or whatever the Minneapolis players, whatever. And or he looked at his friend group and he went, okay, I need a lesbian. I need people of color. And because I do not believe the same man who said, I don't think about those things. And also, I don't have a problem with that community. I don't have a problem with those people. I find it hard to believe that you're best friends with a lesbian, 2-3 people of color. I mean,
he's the only white guy. Well, well, I mean,
the only white straight guy.
Yeah, you're right.
And I was like, hold on a second. He used to work at this country. He mentions I was like, of course he used to work at a country club.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like, I think the minute he got back to Minneapolis, he was like, oh crap, let me look up George Floyd. Everyone keeps talking about George Floyd.
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? Oh, wait, these people are commenting on George Floyd. Can you come on a TV show and pretend to be my friend? That's my theory.
I think you're right. This did not track.
No.
Did not track at all. Yeah, he wants Sarah to feel like, at ease.
Yeah.
About, her lesbian sister, who we see a clip. She's coming next week. Can't wait for that. Yeah, I mean, strange. And why aren't we meeting his family? Why are we meeting his friend? Maybe his family lives somewhere far away.
I don't know. I mean, all the stuff that the whole Honduras section with them was just, he sleeps with a fan on. I mean, again, so snooze fest.
Oh, so much talk about sleeping, snoring, getting up in the middle of the night, moving in the bed. Every single couple was obsessed with this. Again, it's like, you know what? I'm way older than you people, and I don't obsess about these bed things like you do. I mean, God, the high maintenance. I mean, what
Yeah, with the sleep. Yeah. Listen, I've been sleeping next to a snorer for 20 plus years. I endure.
You just deal with it.
I just deal. I've never complained so much
machine?
No, we don't have sound machines and all this other kind of stuff. And we've made it. We're here. Just,
I know.
Take a pill or something and knock your ass out. That's what I do.
That's what I do. Sleeping pills just work much better. And you don't have to, this one guy's traveling around with a fan. Was that Ben? He had his own travel fan that he had to have. And it's like,
but he's not bringing shampoo because he only washes his hair once every
other week.
Now, I want to say something about this because I want to say that if I do not wash my hair, I can go one day.
Yeah.
But by day two, I have to put the hair. I just got some more
dry shampoo,
and I'll do that. That will last me maybe the day. So wash my hair on a Monday. Tuesday, I could do the dry shampoo. Mm-hmm. But by Wednesday morning, I have to wash my hair. But he's not wrong because apparently we all do wash our hair too much. Like our hair has gotten used to it. But we shouldn't be washing our hair. I think we're only supposed to be washing our hair like once a week. That's what I've heard. Well, yeah, I can't get out of this cycle that I'm in.
Right. You'd have to get out of that. How do you get out of the cycle? Yeah. Because I think it has to do with if you're overstimulating your hair, it's going to produce more oil. Mm-hmm. And if you want it to produce less, you're supposed to leave it alone. Okay. But how long do I leave it alone before it starts? Because I'll get up on day 2 after washing it the day before and sometimes dry shampoo just won't cut it. It's just, and from sweating, if you're a woman of a certain age and you have long hair, you sweat at night, you get hot, you wake up, your hair is a sweaty mess. I think it's different for guys.
But not even that, because also we have really thick hair. Our hair is really, really thick. And so that's the other problem too. There's so much of it. And so when it's greasy like that, it's just, it's worse. And I don't know. And my hair is straight. It got a lot of issues here. But
I don't know. Their banter to me is so weird. It's because it's almost like a Saturday Night Live skit or something that they talk to each other. It's like, oh my God, yeah, and she seems so enamored with him, and it's like, why? What is the attraction here? And then she does later in the episode kind of wise up a little bit. I think snaps out of it a little, her fantasy world that she's.
Are you talking about when? So let's talk about the TikTok situation.
Yeah, and this was another thing. It seemed staged the way that it came up. I'm sure that they filmed this to address it. I mean, don't you? Do you think they really were, just sitting there talking and laughing and having a drink, and she really just stumbled on this TikTok?
No, I have not. So I've been purposely avoiding Storytime with Ricky, like all of these Love is Blind spoiler TikTok people. But I had heard rumblings or saw something that there was some woman.
This came out before the show even premiered.
Yeah, with this season or something was going on with that. But I don't know. No, it seemed very staged, but I'm still a little confused. And I get the sense that there's more to this story, which is also why I think that Ben's the kind of person that would hire friends. Like, there's something off here. There's something really that does not match.
Yeah, well, I think more than one person posted on TikTok that, there's this guy who's going to be on Love is Blind. I don't think they named him, but people figured out who it was. Maybe one of them named him. I don't know. But they basically said this guy's awful, that he uses girls and then ghosts them and it's just really broke their hearts. And one woman is crying, she's so upset, and I think that might be the TikTok that Sarah was talking to him about. And he's like, oh, that was like someone I just hooked up with on Hinge like 4 years ago. And I just kind of ghosted her. And Sarah's like, well, if that was the case, why is she so upset? So Sarah's starting to cross-examine him, and he's not doing real great under pressure.
He's doing the
story changing.
I don't remember. And she's calling him on that. Like, hold on a second. You don't remember? Most people unless you're a basketball player or a rock star, most people remember the people they hook up with. Mm-hmm. They have some vague recollection of who they are and what the circumstances were. Ben, I don't think you were. Do you know what I mean? It seems a little odd that 4 years ago you can't remember this person at all or what happened.
But he does remember. He says he doesn't remember. Then he says he does remember, I believe, and that, oh, well, she's upset because I ghosted her. And that's when Sarah's like, she's more upset than just ghosting. She had feelings for you, really hurt her feelings and made her feel like shit because now she's on TikTok crying about it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And then I can't remember how they ended it because she's grilling him and he's not doing very well.
So basically what she said, and which I think is what I would say, or some version of that, which is she basically said, okay, this is the story you're telling me right now. You need to tell me everything. If there's more to this story, it needs to come out now. Because if we walk away from this conversation and then it comes out, well, actually, yeah, then this happened and that she was like, then I'll be done. And she's not wrong. Like, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because that's a big part about dating and any of these situations. A big chunk of this is you have to give people the benefit of the doubt. You have to trust and believe them to a certain extent, but she's right. If I find out that you quote unquote remembered a bunch of facts that make you look bad that you're not telling me now, then that's telling you something. So I don't know. Like I said, I think this guy is a smooth talker. I think he knows what to say. Again, even these friends that he got together, I wrote their names down, like Sam, Lana, Leah, like, did he hire these people? Like, I almost feel like these people, this is, okay, let me get these people to come on the show. These are not I just don't believe these are his friends. I really don't.
Yeah. And then the girl who was talking about how he drove her home one night because she was drunk and he was the designated driver. Yeah. He ended up talking about, faith and, religion. And he's like, I don't like to call it that. I like to call it faith. I mean, that seemed very scripted. So we're going to make him look like a good guy on two levels. He drove you home. He's the designated driver. And, he talked to you about faith and God.
Yeah. And again, I just wonder too, I think they're periphery friends. I think Leah's like, oh, I get to be on TV. Great. Remember that time you drove me home and I was really drunk? And we had this really deep conversation. Like, the drunk person doesn't remember, or she probably thought it was this really in-depth conversation where this numbnut over here was barely saying anything of value or note. Whatever. I don't have high hopes for these two.
I don't either. I find their relationship really strange. I just don't believe in it. I think obviously Ben is on the show because he just likes attention and he's doing it for, the social media followers. And she seems too smart to be falling for this and too caught up in this and too giddy and giggly. And again, she's a nurse, right?
She's an oncology nurse too. Yeah.
She's a nurse. She's a serious person. I don't know. Like, she gets so giddy and goofy around him. And it's like, is this really you, Sarah? Like, I think she's going to maybe wake up. I think she's starting to wake up and she's just been in this fantasy world.
Yeah, I think what's hard too is, again, I never really watched The Bachelor or Bachelorette that much, but I think it's what happens too is a little bit of that reality show situation, which is they're staying in this beautiful hotel in Honduras that you couldn't afford otherwise, like with your own private hot tubs and pools and all this kind of stuff. And you're getting massages and you're going on. I mean, you're eating this great food. Everything's paid for. You're all day long. Like, I think that part, I think it's easy to put up with Ben shit when you're in Honduras and in the 5-star hotel. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the sister's going to come around. I think more and more stuff's going to come out. I think that she's, and I could see them getting all the way to the altar, but then her saying no.
Yeah, I don't know if they even make it to the altar because I think more is going to come out. she's going to start digging more, and she's got her phone now, and she's going to start digging into her phone and finding more stuff and asking him questions, and that he's not going to be able to really answer. And he's already flubbed it, with this one story. So not looking good.
No, it's not. All right. So here's the big crescendo, Dave and Lauren.
Oh, I am so mad at this man.
I am. This is the third note I wrote down was this. Dave makes me nervous. I was 10 minutes into the show. Mm-hmm. Dave makes me nervous. I fear everything is going to be about him and how Dave feels and how things are affecting Dave and what Dave thinks. And I think that he is into Lauren. I think he likes the idea of Lauren. Mm-hmm. I think he likes the idea of marriage. I think he likes the idea of all of this. And he now is getting these things that he has said that he wants. And he is scared out of his goddamn mind. So he is holding on to something that he does not need to hold on to. And he's going to use this as an excuse to just screw this poor girl over.
Yeah, he is. Or it could be, okay. I think he is attracted to her because he really does want to have sex with her. And I think one of the things that that's driving this is that she will not have sex with him. And from day one, when they arrived and, she told him how she got a bikini wax and she can't have sex for 24 hours, which I've never heard that.
Okay. That was the first note I wrote down. That was the first note I had, which is no sex after a bikini wax. No one's ever said that. I'm like, what would happen?
That's why you go get a bikini wax.
Yes.
Getting ready for sex.
Yes.
Why else would you do it?
No one else would ever get a bikini wax if you weren't going to go to the beach.
Right.
If someone wasn't going to see that area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the look on his face when she said that, he was crestfallen.
Yes.
He was just like, oh, shit. So then I think he thought, okay, well, maybe tomorrow. And no, tomorrow came and went. And the next day. And then it culminated with that party that everyone goes to. He asked every single person at that party if they were having sex.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with it.
Yes. Yes. He is obsessed. And this is the other thing about Dave. He is obsessed with what other people think. Mm-hmm. One of the best, and I always know this for myself when I'm getting like this, right? People who have low self-esteem are very concerned about what other people think of them. Mm-hmm. People with high self-esteem are concerned about how other people treat them. Mm. And this is when anytime I'm getting into this headspace of like worrying about how someone's thinking about me or what, it's like, no, I don't care. How is that person treating me? Mm-hmm. How is our relationship, and do I feel respected and seen? And it's like, if I don't feel respected and seen, then that's a you problem. Like then I should not care what you think of me because you're not treating me well. And that's Dave is the classic, person who he is so worried about what everybody else is doing and thinking. And again, and it's always about him. It's always about how this all affects him.
Right. What are people going to think of him? Yeah. Because he's got all these people in his ear. And that's another thing. He lets too many people in his ear, like his sister. Who gives a shit what his sister has to say? I mean, that's a toxic relationship right there.
Yeah. Why does that sister have so much goddamn control over his life?
And he's so worried about what his friends back home are thinking. And then, okay, so let's talk about this. Yeah. This makes me very upset because this is like just the episode of just slut shaming Lauren.
Yes.
And it pisses me off because he's pissed that she won't have sex with him. Mm-hmm. And so he's taking that personally. And so now he's going to become obsessed with, well, did she have sex with this guy? Mm-hmm. He forced her into admitting that she was having this, like she called it a friends with benefits relationship up until, right before she left. And he's like, well, if you're fucking this guy, why won't you fuck me? He's pissed about that.
Yeah.
And he's taking it out on her and he's slut shaming her. And it's like, you know what? I don't care. If you had sex with someone the night before you leave for this experiment you may or may not even meet someone you like, who cares? And then if you do meet someone and you end up falling in love, who cares? You didn't even know this person when you were having sex, a couple days ago with this other person. And trust me, if some girl offered him sex a few days before, he would have taken it.
Yes, he would have. And had no qualms about it.
And he's talking about how he hasn't been in a relationship for 4 years. Like that makes him so pious and pure. And it's like, well, does that also mean you haven't had sex in 4 years? I mean, I doubt it. Or maybe you're so repelling, your personality is so awful.
He's got a real, was one of my last notes. I said that he's got a real virgin whore complex, I feel like. He was so worked up about Lauren being a teacher. And I think in his mind, he saw teachers as being prim and proper and being kind of, chaste, the virgin. And he liked, and he knew, I think part of him knew that this would be liked by his sister. Like, okay, so Lauren's the kind of woman I need to be with. She's pious. She's this, she's that. And then I think Molly represented like the dirty girl, like the good time girl, the cool girl. And so, and I think he does this a lot. I think he goes back and forth between these two kinds of women. I think he kind of shines them all on. And, hating one and then hating the other and then hating one and then hating the other. And and it really, it's almost kind of like, oh, this teacher, where she's just a teacher, it's her job, is not this virgin. God forbid she's like having casual sex, whoa, how dare she? So it's almost like he's mad at her. Like, but that's not who I thought you were. It's like, no, that's your own stuff.
Yeah.
He's got some hangups.
He really does. And he's being so awful to her. And even her friends are trying to stick up for her. And he's like, he's upset that this guy lives in the same building. I mean, it's like, he's so insecure. Like, you can't handle the fact that this woman had sex with another man that lives in your city. And I mean, he is using this as an excuse to say no to her. He's going to blame this all on her. And she has done nothing wrong. She's done nothing wrong. And then it was so shitty at the end where they decide, he's like, well, I don't want my friends to come over tonight. And she's like, okay, well, please, don't leave me here like alone. And then he leaves her. I just felt so badly for her. It's like, this guy is terrible. Please run.
Yeah. Listen, Lauren, he is going to use this as an excuse, and you will be getting down on your knees thanking the universe or God or whoever you want to thank that this is what happened, that you got saved from this guy, because he is truly, truly awful. She has, again, that's the same thing as what was the other couple, like Joey and Monica. It's a little bit like, you can only take what you're seeing. Has Lauren lied to you? No. Is Lauren being honest with you? Does she then, they hang out with her friends who are very clear. They're not trying to make this up. They are very direct and very clear. And her friends were asking good questions like, oh, I don't know, Dave, what would be an acceptable time? Like, is her not being in a relationship with anybody for a year, 6 months? Like, he is arbitrarily picking a time frame. And Lauren also points something out, which I think is important too, which is, listen, she's not putting all of her eggs in one basket. I bet you any of these kinds of reality shows or anything that you do in life, like getting a new job, like it takes time. Things take time. This is why people date. It takes time. So what she was doing was she had this friends with benefit thing with this guy that she kind of wasn't that into, but maybe they had a good time and they were friendly. And, maybe I'll go on Love is Blind. And, maybe I'll do this and maybe I'll do that. Maybe, okay, he and I are hanging out. Okay, we're doing, like, it just sort of worked out that way. She knew it wasn't going to work with this guy. It was so casual. He was telling her about other dates.
Yeah, her friends had never even met the guy.
Yeah, their big, date is going to get ice cream. And she was like, we never spent the night at each other's homes. Like, we did not have that. It wasn't a deep relationship. It was like a friendship that was physical. Yeah. And so why can't you believe? And she's telling you this, so why can't you believe it? The other thing that was pissing me off is we were having another couch conversation with Dave, and Dave's going to this whole thing about his family and his sister, and they're worried and they're this and they're that. And Lauren's like, yeah, my family's worried too. This is odd for them too. This is new. But it's always like, it's about Dave again. We're back to Dave. It's like, yeah, Dave, you both are going through this together. Like, but it doesn't matter. All he cares about are his feelings.
Yeah. And like she said that, I imagine that you probably don't find out that you've been cast on this show until like the last minute.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, well, next week, you know, you got to be ready to go. So yeah, what is she supposed to do? She's supposed to be celibate until she finds out whether or not she's going to go on Love is Blind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he wasn't celibate. Well, she was supposed to be like celibate for a year before she even, I mean, what does he expect from her?
Well, even still, it sounds like I don't even think they had sex. I think they hung out at a party 2 days before she left. Again, these are her friends. This is her life. She, of course, was going to go to a party if they are all friends with each other. If everybody's had these sort of situations where there was a group of friends and two people would hook up and they had some sort of side thing going on. And like, and so if they did or did not have sex that night, like it wasn't like she planned this big romantic date.
Right.
And the two of them went on a weekend away together. And then she went right on Love is Blind. It's disgusting. It's kind of, it just got grosser and grosser and grosser. And I mean.
And what's going to happen next week when Molly comes back and, you know, they have the reunion of all these people and.
I don't know.
They show a clip of, you know, like from the finale where she's saying that he didn't come home the night before and now it's their wedding day. She doesn't know where he is. And it's like, oh my God, girl, please just call it off now. I hope she doesn't go down the aisle and.
Yeah. Oh God. And say yes. Please don't say yes to this guy. Well, the other thing too is this also tells me how much Dave doesn't understand himself. So Dave, on one hand, Dave says he doesn't like to be told what to do. But on the other hand, you listen to everybody else, but you don't listen to yourself or don't listen to the person in front of you. So that's the other part of it too, is his sense of self, like he doesn't even understand who he is. He thinks he's this independent thinker who's like, I do things my way and I'm going to do things, you know, I'm Mr. Strong Independent guy. It's like, dude, you're scared of your sister. You know, like, what are you talking about? He just is so, I don't know. And the friends seemed really annoyed too. And I'm with these friends. They're like,
yeah, no, they were.
You got to stop
annoyed.
doubting her. This is our friend. We are telling you, we are corroborating this. So, and that's the part of it. These guys that apparently Dave isn't even close with, he's willing to listen to them and believe them over her. And again, it's rooted in slut shaming her. Making her feel like she is a bad person for having sex.
For having casual sex, basically. Yeah. So close to me the time she met you. God. Poor Lauren. Justice for Lauren. I just want her to get away from him as soon as possible. And there's a lot of other nice guys out there, Lauren, that will now know who you are and want to date you. You don't need this guy. He treated her like that, even, you know, going back into the pods and, you know, the way that he was back and forth with her and Molly. And I can't remember the specifics, but he was being a douche then too, you know?
Yeah. Cause I don't think Molly's crazy by any means. I mean, again, and I said this before, he said to Molly, I should probably ask you what kinds of rings you would like. I don't know. I would think I was someone's number one. Again, I don't think Molly really truly misinterpreted a lot of it. I think he was. And before, right? The two of them, Molly and Lauren, are doing all the work. They were doing all this emotional labor for Dave. So Molly and Lauren should get together and just F Dave.
Well, unfortunately, I feel like Lauren is something bad's going to happen at the altar or on the wedding day. And I don't like to see that. I think she's going to get her heart totally broken.
Yeah.
And she should just walk away now.
Yeah. This is why Dave is single. Like you're like 34, because it is, you do look at him. He's 34 years old. Good job. Good looking guy, you know, very together. And usually, especially, I mean, I would think maybe in the Midwest, I think maybe they get married a little younger, but out here in California, like in the Bay Area, 33, 34 is like your sweet spot for men out here. Like this is really where it's like they kind of got their crapola together. The fact that Dave has been single for 4 years and you're like, oh, that was another note I wrote down. Oh, I can see now. I get why because you sabotage everything. You sabotage everything. You cannot handle vulnerability. And you're just going to sabotage every relationship you ever get in. And you're going to blame your sister and you're going to blame this person and that person and all of these things. And no one's ever going to be good enough for you.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So oh, God, I'm emotionally drained now.
I guess we're going to meet some more families.
Yes.
It looks like, I think we meet Dave's sister, it looks like.
Oh, thank God. I really want to meet her.
And it looks like we're going to meet, why am I blanking on? Oh, Sarah's sister.
Yes.
Who doesn't seem happy. I don't know. I love meeting the families. It's always so telling, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
More families. I don't know if we meet Virginia's family.
Yeah, the families are good. I enjoy that. I usually enjoy the time at the resorts, but I think part of this was because there was no overlap. There was no drama. The only drama was no one's having sex. Too much to Dave's chagrin.
Well, and only Dave seemed bothered by it. Everyone else was like, yeah, it's okay. Well, you know, it'll happen when it happens. And he's obsessed with it. Like, why isn't it happening?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I would do it. I would do it in Honduras. I mean, you're there, the hotel. What do you think's going to, I mean, this is a very fast process. What do you think's going to be different 3 or 4 days from now?
Right.
Really?
Just do it. Who cares?
Like, rip off the Band-Aid, you know, figure it out before you move into that place with them and back home, you know. It just seems a little bit like, because I think that you're already off, quote unquote, off track of dating. I think people feel like, oh God, I'm going to seem like a real, you know, this is our first night together. And it's like, you guys are moving things along real fast. Let's go. Let's do it.
Right.
You know?
And you know, Dave, you're right. Dave sabotaged himself because first he's upset that they don't have sex right away, you know, the first day or two. But then he starts treating her so poorly that she does. Now you're pushing her away and she's not going to have sex with you now.
Yeah.
If you had just maybe been more respectful to her, you know, maybe she would have had sex with you and maybe you'd feel a lot better about all of this. I really think that this is what this is all about. Well, I mean, he hasn't had a relationship in 4 years. And like you say, he's an eligible bachelor. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why? That's, you know.
Yeah. Why? Well, the thing is, when she mentioned that bikini wax thing, she said, when she learned that, she was like, and I was kind of disappointed that didn't happen. So to me, that felt like she wanted to. And you're absolutely right. Like, if they haven't now, it's because of something went awry. And this is an issue, right? This is a very classic thing with men and women where women need to feel close to have sex. Men have sex to get close. So, and this is a bit of what gets men and women in trouble sometimes is like, this is kind of where Dave and Lauren are right now. But the problem is that Lauren, you know, even if she knew that, he's so awful to her. Like, there's no way that she's just gonna, at this point, he's shamed her so much. Like, why would you do it now?
Yeah. And he was even before this stuff came out about the guy, he was kind of giving her digs. Like, he made a comment about he didn't like her hair when she had her hair braided. And there was something else that day. He was starting to sort of comment on her looks and her, just like personal things about her. And you could tell that she was kind of like, what is this? Like, it's almost like he said, oh, you're not going to have sex with me? Well, maybe I'm not attracted to you anymore. Or I don't know. He's just awful.
Yeah. Well, he talked about how he was physically, like, I've been working in this field and I've been very focused on physical the way people look. And that's why I went on the show. Again, all about Dave's journey, Dave's shit. And I needed to go on this show and sort of justifying, again, I'm a good guy. I'm evolving. I'm this, I'm that. You slut.
How dare you?
How dare you not have sex with me? I'm an emotionally unavailable 34-year-old man.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want me?
Aren't you turned on by that? Yeah, Dave, that's real appealing.
Yeah.
Just makes you want to jump right in.
So I'm telling you, it's, Daniel with the Christmas stuff, he might be a little boring, but at least he's solid. I give him that much.
Exactly. We're running the gamut here. With
yes, we are. Oh, all right. So how many episodes do we have next time?
Next week is 2, episode 10 and 11. And then the finale is the week after. Sometimes they might maybe do one wedding in episode 11. Sometimes they do that. They might start the weddings and then have a little cliffhanger into the next week. But the finale is the week after.
All right.
12. And then I guess there'll be a reunion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There will be. All right, then. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoy this podcast, please, and if you haven't already, please go to Apple and give us a 5-star rating and review. Please follow the podcast. If you want more info about us or enjoy more content, go over to our Patreon. We're on social media, Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And I think that's it. We're here twice a week. We're doing Love is Blind. And next week, we're going to be covering on Tuesday the Gabby Pepito documentary, which I'm very excited about digging into. So, yeah. And then we'll be back next week with more Love is Blind. Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
This season on The Dream.
Supplies are being provided by nurses who run out in the middle of the night and purchase diapers, but the hospital is still charging as if they still have these items.
We are digging into every topic we've ever wanted to cover on this show.
It's a spinning plate analogy. The second that you stop spinning those plates, that crashes. So you can never stop working.
The Dream Season 4 comes at you weekly starting Monday, January 20th.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.